today we are going to be learning about latitude and longitude. Before we dive into today's lesson, I want to see what you may already know. So what we're going to do is a little discussion board. I'm going to have each of you to post to the discussion board. Just simply before we're discussing latitude and longitude, I want you to post below what you believe these two things are. So just right here and share your thoughts. Give me your quick definition of what you think they are. Even if you're not sure, I want you to put something in, and then we're going to check your answers here in a moment when we go over the key terms. All right, so let's see how everyone did. So latitude, these are lines that run from east to west and measure distance between north and south. So a little trick that I think that works for me is when I think of latitude, I think of laying down. So these are flat lines like this, and they run east to west, so they're going like that. And then they go up on the globe like this and down. So they go north and they go south, okay? Longitude, these are lines that run from north to south and measure distance from east and west. So how I think of this is long ways, longitude. They go like this. So they go north to south like this, and then they go east to west like that, okay? So another two very important lines that we'll be seeing on our globe today are the equator, which are lines of latitude. Okay, remember, laying down. That is the 0-degree latitude, and this divides the world into the northern hemisphere and then the southern hemisphere, so north and south. The prime meridian is a line of longitude that is at 0 degrees longitude. Remember, longitude, straight up, long ways. And this is the line that divides the world into the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere on that side. So we're going to take a quick look at a map here to kind of see where all these are visually on the map, and then kind of work through it together to understand what these lines represent and how we can categorize them, how we call them, how you can give me distance and of places that fall onto the globe. So here is our map of the world. As you can see, it is a little flat. Our world is not flat, it is round. But this will help us to identify all the places and the lines that we need to know. So here we can see all of our continents that are on here. And then you see a bunch of these lines. It's like a grid all the way across this map. So right here you can see lines of latitude. Got all these arrows pointing. You can see those are those lines. They are laying down. They are flat. And they go from east over here to west. So they're going this way, okay? And then they go up and down the globe, just like this. So whenever you're up here, this is all up here, everything up here above that equator is called the northern hemisphere. When we're down here, this is called the southern hemisphere. And you'll see there are numbers on these lines because they are measured in degrees, okay? Each of these have a degree. So you see, like right here is 20 degrees. So if I was to say that to give the proper coordinate, that would be 20 degrees north, okay? Because we are in the northern hemisphere, 20 degrees north. If I'm down here below the equator, that's 20 degrees south. And these are our latitude lines, okay? Next, we're going to be looking at our longitude. See, those are the longitudes. They're going long ways up and down. So right here you can see, there they are, okay? They also use degrees to help us to categorize those. So right here you'd say 120 degrees east because we're in the eastern hemisphere. Over here be 120 degrees west because you're in the western hemisphere. Now our equator right here is what breaks us up into that north and southern hemisphere. So this is also the hottest place on Earth. If you're next to the equator, you're probably going to have some nice weather. Here is our prime meridian that divides our world into eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere, okay? So we can see all these lines of longitude and latitude. The reason we use this is to help us to get coordinates. Your GPS uses this to get you exactly where you need to be at. So even though you see like a 20 degree here, you can have a 21, you can have a 22, you can have a 23. All those lines are there, and these are of course invisible. You don't actually physically see them as we're walking around. But this is how we measure where things are at to get a precise location, okay? This helps us to get to where we need to go and how our GPS and things work today. Now what we're going to do next is test and see what all we've learned here, okay? But before we do that, I want to open the floor up. If anyone has any questions about anything, I want you to go ahead and ask now. If you don't understand what something is or want me to repeat anything, please take this time and do so. Question quiz. Once you are finished with the 8 questions, you simply submit, and then we'll go over the data at the end of class.